Kids and cadets, welcome back to Tommy Time. The gang's all here. We're working on a Toro recycler. We did an initial video on this. Local scrapper showed up with this fine beauty. I had priced it at $30 and $10 for the pressure washer. He gave me the bag that goes with the Toro. He had an extra bag, so $45 for this kit and caboodle. We initially looked at this thing and thought maybe it was storm damage. We've got debris all the way up the tank here. Looks like it was flooded out. We got a bunch of rusty water. Clucky thinks so. Snakey's get some sun. Dino's helping me today. These two aren't doing shit. So we kind of manipulated this thing for quite a while with some nitro. It got better and better as we got some of the water out of the cylinder. The plug was wet. So I think we got to manhandle it. There was no filter. There was a cover, and there's a lot of buildup right there of this kind of dusty conditions. So probably wasn't good for this poor old Kohler 675. And I'll give you a model number of this Toro. This happens to be model year 2018, March 5th, I believe it looks like from here. 3/5 of 2018. This is the model 20378, 20378. Country of origin, Mexico, and the Toro company is located in beautiful Bloomington, Minnesota. Oh boy, I want to retire to Minnesota. To locate a dealer nearest you, visit toro.com/toughluck. Okay, well, we'll see about that. Let's jack this thing up. Take the carb off. I like these Toros. It's basically a 10mm to take this thing apart. We'll investigate. We're going to have a rusty bowl, watery fuel. You never can tell, but we're going to do it to it, Mr. Pruitt. So, Dino, what do you say we hit this running? Okay, let me put my deep well socket 10 on. R is reverse. Move that to the side. We had seen some sort of zippy tie action here. Was that for the cover? I don't know, but let me just get rid of this thing. Clippy clip, that's out of my way. Move the backing plate to the side. Oh, very oily, huh? Okay, so this is the thermostatic wafer linkage. What we've done before is remove the thermostatic wafer and just manhandle that off. So why don't we do that? So the recoil's going to come off, so I have access to the 10s on the thermostatic wafer. That's how I do it. You guys might have a better way. Because I believe it's just too awkward to manhandle that linkage off. Okay, my spacers went for a dive, 2 out of 3. Okay, can't reach that one. Let me grab my little magnet. It's always something. So sales have kind of slowed down. I mean, they're steady. I haven't done 7 or 8 in a weekend. It's basically been 2 or 3. So we might be tapering off. Okay, I remember this one now. It had some kind of noisy noise. I didn't know if it was the blade adapter. Trying to get it to TDC and see if it's connecting rod play. Don't see anything abnormal. Let's go ahead and get busy with this. Take the fuel line clamp, move it up to the side, grab the hose, give it a twist, and it's wet. Remember, we drained off all the water in this thing and we got it down to the fuel level and still tried it then, but I think maybe we didn't get enough water out of the tank, or maybe we got a problem down here. So I thought I would sneak it by and get rid of water, but it didn't work. There's just 2 nuts holding the thermostatic wafer down. Clucky's going to keep an eye on those, so I got the linkage in my hand, kind of work the hook out, set this down. Okay, so take the throttle linkage and the spring, take those off, put them to the side, and voila. So we're showing a little bit of rust down there. Let's get the bleach container and see if we can make any observations. Like I said, I like these. Use a 10, everything's a 10 millimeter socket. Okay. Grab the bowl, grab my DeWalt. Okay, we knocked some dirt into the container, but we have a mixture of good stuff. We got some gas, some water, and some debris. Debris came from the outside of the car, but that water was in the bowl. And I hate water in carburetors more than slow drivers in the fast lane. That's so annoying. So I'm not going to bother with the secondary jet. I think it's water. Normally I would take the secondary jet out and blow it out, but what the hell. Since we're here, I'm going to plow ahead. We'll do it. So kind of look at how many threads have been threaded through, kind of eyeball it, or you can use the dirt that's on the threads and go by that when you're reinstalling this. And then we can remove the jet and emulsion tube, the brass jet. I don't think anything's clogged. I think we just had a water breach, water invasion. Pop up the secondary slow idle jet. You can poke it through with a little wire And then I take Carb Clean and put it right in there and watch it drain. If it drains, that means it's open. If not, you're going to have to poke this clean. So let me just get rid of some of this dust. Take my nitro and squirt it right there. And watch it drain. It's bubbling and it drained right through, so that's free and clear. Be careful of these O-rings. Don't put a lot of carb cleaner on them or it's gonna ruin your day. Let me get a little wire. Maybe I can borrow a stray wire here on this brush and just see if it's going through. Yeah, it's poking through. Okay, so we'll put that back in. Let me do some more spray. Okay, one more nitro blast down into the hole. Let's see if it's draining. Yep, right through. If it puddles there, you're going to have to work that with a small wire. Okay, push that down. Okay, there's enough dirt on these threads, plus I kind of looked at how many threads went through to the other side. Okay, right about there. Okay, let me get a smaller flat head to deal with the brass jet. That's too fat. I've got a skinny flat that I normally use for this. I'm quite prepared as usual. No, I'm not. Working out of the back of my CRV. Sometimes when these things are sitting in water, getting these brass jets out can be a bear. Sometimes they're a bear anyway. This one's acting up. Sometimes you got to clean them real good. And even then, they don't want to budge. Let me blast that when I'm going to change screwdrivers. I've got another Harbor Freight skinny that seems to work well. Still looking. If not, I just may go with it because I can't put my hand on it. I think this is a water issue. If I had seen a lot of rust build up from it sitting a long time, I would have kept pursuing the brass jet. I can't find my screwdriver. Oh, I think I got it. Finally, at the point of almost giving up, I got it. Okay, finally broke loose. This was one of these 6 free screwdrivers years ago from Harbor Freight. They used to give you a lot of stuff, free flashlights. They don't give away anything anymore. I guess the economy stinks. They can't afford to give away $1 item. $1 item to make 150 on the other junk. Okay. So we got some snot on that. That's going to be cleaned up. And I can see through the jet. So let me just blast some air through here. Let me hold it up to the light. Okay, we're looking good. I'm going to put it in. There's nothing I got to poke through. I can see through all of them. Since we got it out, let me blast some air. Okay, so my confidence level's going up on this thing starting. I think it was just a little bit of water in the bottom of the bowl giving us an issue. Might have been a combination of that and the moisture in the cylinder, the wet plug. So this thing may have been submerged or close to it. So Debbie did her in. Debbie did the damage. Okay, let's look at the bowl. We really don't have to do anything to this. There was nothing to wipe off. Let me just take a wire brush and just clean up the lip there. It's got the notch in the bowl. It only goes on one way to allow you to get to the drain here, which faces forward. Okay, I'm going to hand tighten this. I'm not going to use the impact on it. Okay, that's snug. Now it's just a matter of putting this thing back together. So let's see if we can drain some of this fuel off. What do you think, Dino? How much is in here? Well, there is some in there, and it's dribbling out. No water yet. Straight fuel. But is it old? Looks clear. I'm probably being overcautious. I could probably burn what's in the tank, but we'll get most of it out and add fresh. Yeah, it's coming out pretty clean. There's been no water droplets. I think we got it out. Got most of the moisture out when we first looked at this thing. Okay, that's plenty, I think. There's still some in the tank, but it's been coming out pretty clear, so hope that's not a mistake, but it might be. Okay, so just kind of roughing up the emergency brake pad here, because that's what grounds out against the flywheel. If there's a bunch of shit on it, it won't kill the coil. And this engine's quite oily. I don't know where all this oil came from, but I'll deal with that later. Okay, it's time to put the carb on. Put my linkage. In place. Why isn't it clicking? Down. There we go. That was a bear. Time for the spring. Okay. You're with me, Clucky's with me, Snakey's on the job. Okay, time for the thermostatic wafer. Let's hook this thing in, bring it around. Okay, looks like it's in the right position. Put the two rusty nuts on. As I recall, I think the blade was pretty good on this one. Hook up my fuel line, put the clamp on. I'm just going to wash this off real quick. Probably should have did that first, but that's how things go. I'm going to use my Dollar Tree spray. Grab my daughter's toothbrush. Scrubby, scrubby. in the tubby. Okay, that's looking nice. I'll hose it off and blow it off. Put that in place. Air breather hose. And then this thing should go into the little diverter plate, but I'll deal with that later. Let's just concentrate on startability. And I gotta get a filter. I've got these in stock, the Kohler shorties. Okay, I'll hand tighten this. Little there, back and forth, tighten it up evenly. Linkage is still moving as they should. Okay. There's some debris up here in the cup. I'm just going to blast that out. I'm going to take some of that gas I just drained and kind of clean up the flywheel here. It's all oily. We'll get it started, and after I send you guys home, I'll